Hi, welcome back to True Blue. My name is Caleb, and today I'm going to be telling you about the best tips and tricks to follow for the Road to Kalos event. Alright, let's get into it. Alright, we're on our route to the Pokemon Go Tour Kalos, and we can't forget about an important stop along the way, the Road to Kalos event. Before the Pokemon Go Tour Kalos Global begins on February 28th, 2026, you're invited to this week-long rewind of previous Go Tour events, which celebrate Kanto, Johto, Hoenn, Sinnoh, and Unova regions. Plus, early readings are showing that certain legendary Pokemon previously featured at each Go Tour event are getting ready to reappear. Could this be the work of the mythical Pokemon Hooper? Well, it's probably not, because Scopely's probably just bringing them back. But anyway, trainers attending the in-person Pokemon Go Tour Kalos events in Tainan and Los Angeles can jump into the Kalos-inspired fun even sooner. Also, if you are going to the in-person events, then you can always check out the event site for more details on how to attend. Now, the event bonuses include half egg hatch distance when eggs are placed in an incubator during the event period. Also, the remote raid pass limit will be increased to 30 from Monday, February 23rd to Friday, February 27th, 2026. Finally, there will be no remote raid limit for the whole weekend. Now, the Pokemon debuts will be Red's Hat Pikachu, Leaf's Hat Pikachu, Ethan's Hat Pikachu, and Lyra's Hat Pikachu. Also, we'll have new special backgrounds, which you'll see in a second. Basically, the Pikachus will have backgrounds, and so will the legendaries. For an example, Articuno will have an inspired background by Team Mystic, as well as Zapdos having an Instinct, and Moltres having a Valor. So that's the Kanto. Next up, we have Johto, which will have Ethan's Hat Pikachu and Lyra's Hat Pikachu, and then we'll actually have Shadow Lugia and Ho-Oh. I know it doesn't have Shadow behind them, but it is actually Shadow Ho-Oh and Shadow Lugia. On Wednesday, we'll have Brendan's Hat Pikachu, May's Hat Pikachu, Kyogre, and Groudon. But these are the primals, not just the regular versions, so definitely go after these ones. On Thursday, we'll have Sinnoh with Lucas's hat, Dawn's hat, and a couple other Pikachus, and Dialga and Polka in their altered forms. Finally, on Friday, for Unova, we'll have Reshiram, Zekrom, and Kyurem. Now then, here are the backgrounds. Now, the Kanto birds will have these backgrounds inspired by the teams. Shadow Ho-Oh and Shadow Lugia will have cool backgrounds. I think these are personally one of my favourites. Then we'll have Groudon and Kyogre with some more cool backgrounds. I don't know what's going on with the Groudon background, I just don't really like it. Then probably one of my favourites, we'll have Dialga and Palkia with their backgrounds. I really like Dialga's one. I just think it's quite cool. It's like, I don't know if they're meteors falling from the sky, but you can just see, like, when you use the adventure effect and like there's like space that comes out of it, like that's what it's doing. And then finally, we've got the white and black Kyurems with their backgrounds. Also, alongside both of the Kyurems, you'll also find Reshiram and Zekrom raids. If you catch, let's say, a Zekrom with a special background inspired by Pokemon Black, and then if you catch a Kyurem with an inspired Pokemon white background, you'll actually get a black and white background, which I think is a cool little Easter egg that they've added. Now then, let's talk about the Go Pass Road to Kalos. From Monday, February 23rd at 10 a.m. to Sunday, March 1st at 6 p.m. local time, you'll receive the Go Pass Road to Kalos and the Go Pass Deluxe, if you want to buy it. Now then, what are the featured Pokemon and rewards for the Go Pass? Well, you'll actually on the free side get an encounter with a Lucario that has a Mega Evolution inspired background. Then you'll also get Lucario Mega Energy to Mega Evolve your Lucario, and some other goodies. Also, if you do upgrade the Go Pass Deluxe, you'll actually get an encounter with Hooper Unbound, a lucky trinket, Zygarde Cells, Zygarde Jacket Avatar item, Victory Bell, and Malamar Mega Energy, which is exciting because these are the new Megas, and some other goodies. Now, the following spawns for this event here include, for Monday, we'll have the starters Pikachu, Clefairy, and Meowth. For Tuesday, February 24th, Johto, you'll have the other starters and some other classics. Then for Hoenn, you'll also have the starters, and you can also get Mudkip as well. Sinnoh is probably the best one because you can get like Shinx and Bidoof, which are some good shinies. Oh, and Snover too. And then we've also got Friday, February 27th, this will be Unova, which is kind of just a bit of a lame one. Now for the 2 kilometer eggs, which will actually turn into 1k eggs, you'll have Larvitar, Bagon, Beldum, and Guyball. They all have great shinies, and they obviously can be shiny. Then, Now let's chat about the raids. Now then, the raids for Monday will include Red's Hat Pikachu and Leaf's Hat Pikachu in the 1-star raids, and for the 5-star raids we'll have Articuno, Zapdos, and Moltres. There'll also be a raid hour for the legendaries on each day. Then, for Tuesday, in the 1-star raids we'll have Ethan's Hat and Lyra's Hat Pikachu. Then we'll have the 5-star Shadow raids for Lugia and Ho-Oh. There'll again be another raid hour there. Then on Wednesday we'll have Brendan's Hat and May's Hat Pikachu, and then we'll actually have Primal Groudon and Primal Kyogre, which are some of the most meta-relevant Pokemon in the game. Then for Thursday we'll have Lucas's Hat and Dawn's Hat Pikachu in the 1-star raids, and for the 5-star raids we'll have Dialga and Palkia in their altered forms. But on Thursday, February 26th, there's actually a little mini event where we'll have Origin Form Dialga and Origin Form Palkia, which can know their adventure effects, which is unbelievable. And again, there'll also be a raid hour on February 26th. Then finally on Friday, we'll have Reshiram and Black Kyurem. Again, if you get a Reshiram with an inspired Pokemon white background, Black Kyurem. Now, again, if you get a Reshiram with a Pokemon white background, and then a Kyurem with a Pokemon black background, and then you fuse them, you'll get a black and white background. And then on Friday as well, the raids will switch around. I'm pretty sure this is at midday. Then there'll also be some featured attacks, which will be listed here. By the way, it will only be the legendaries that will get the charged attacks. Also, it looks like that Ho-Oh and Lugia will not get their signature moves for this event. But Pokemon like Kyogre, Groudon, Origin Form Dialga, and Origin Form Palkia with adventure effects are even more powerful. But if you do want, let's say, a Shadow Lugia with Aeroblast, you will unfortunately have to Elite TM that on. Now that's all I have to say about this event, and I hope you have a great Road to Kalos event. Bye!